Let's get started, Sonu. So just to let everybody know, we are recording this event. If you would not like to speak, you can just or you can chat and just let us know.
So guys, welcome to our first webinar about artificial intelligence. So here, if you have any questions, you can write it on the chat and you will answer to you. And I will let Anju Mercian to talk about herself a little bit and give us brief introduction of herself, like how she started and how is she excited about like their AI and the woman who caught. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Sona. So thank you all for joining today's meeting. Sorry for the delay. We were just trying to get everything set up, and and to get everybody to hear what we're saying. So thank you for yeah, I know we had some hiccups. Hopefully, so basically how this started was Sona and I were in a scholarship together, and I was talking about my journey, and she said, can you come share my journey with the women in engineering? And I was like, I was really taken aback. I was like, I really jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah.
I jumped at the opportunity because it was a long journey for me. It was a tough journey for me. And I love to share my experience, because I hope by sharing my experience, everybody else is looking to get into AI, or stuck with AI, you're scared about it and want to continue. I hope this journey will encourage you, because such stories was one that encouraged me to get into AI and to like really face my fears and conquer the obstacles and go ahead. That's why I said conquering your AI dream, because I want anybody that's like looking towards an AI dream to conquer it. This is my LinkedIn, so you can contact me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the only social media platform I'm actually active on. So if if you like, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and also message me if you have any questions, or you want any help. You want a mentor too? I'm open to it. So if you're looking for a mentor, and if you really want someone to support you, I'm there. So you can contact me on LinkedIn. So the agenda. So the agenda for today will be, I'll go a little about me, courses, and what actually helped me get into AI, how I started learning, basically the flow of what all I went through, what all I learned, challenges I faced in the real world, and then that will be a leeway to Omdena. Omdena is actually a non-profit organization that helps you with non-profit real world projects that actually help you build your portfolio. So, and then I have final takeaways. So you have a Q&A session, and the references will have most of the links that I went through, and so let's get started with about me. So my name is Anju Mercian. I work here in San Jose, California, US. I graduated from Syracuse University quite a long time back, actually. So long time back that I don't want to tell the year I graduated, with a master's degree in computer engineering. And then after my graduation, I actually worked for Intel as an infrastructure engineer. When I started working as an infrastructure engineer, actually, it was very interesting. I loved what I was doing. But slowly through the years, I kind of was looking to do something else. I was looking to figure out, where do I fit in? Like, I really didn't feel that I was fitting into infrastructure or anything else. I was looking for a career change. I was looking for something else to do. While in school, I was always interested in data science and in data. When I was studying, there was no data science or machine learning. That was not very popular. There was SQL, the relational database, SQL, and that was not even much talked about. Everybody didn't think that is a career to take forward. So I wasn't encouraged to take data in school. So, but I always loved data, telling stories with data, like cleaning it up and all of that. So I had kind of a passion, which I did not realize while I was in school, because that I was told that did not have a future, right? So while working with Intel, when I was looking for a career, I was like changing jobs, looking to see where I fit in. So I worked as a freelance project manager for VMware for a year, and then recently I was working for Intuitive Surgical as a business analyst. So 2 years back, I would say, that's where I first took machine learning course, and then realized, okay, that's where I want to be. So that's when I moved into business analyst to understand the business aspect of it. So that's how my journey started into AI. And then I just finished a freelance project as a business analyst with Intuitive, and now I'm contributing as for Omdena, a non-profit organization, as a lead ML engineer. I'm also a director at Women Who Code Silicon Valley since 2019. So that's kind of my introduction and how I started. So, so what helped me? So how it started, how my journey started was in 2018. I took a course, and I realized, okay, machine learning is something I want to be in because it's something related to data. I can do some SQL on it, and I wouldn't say very perfect SQL, but I liked SQL. I liked coding in SQL. So I was like, okay, so if everybody suggested maybe take machine learning course by Andrew Ng, and Andrew Ng's Coursera course is like the Bible. It's like the be all and end all of machine learning, but it's a very, very tough course because he goes very much deep into the mathematics behind it. And if you have problem, I have just 1 second. I'm getting chats. So if you so that is like the Bible of the course. So when I took that, it was very, very difficult. I did not think that, okay, I was like, okay, I don't think machine learning is for me. I can't do this. Like it was, but it was interesting at the same time. Like it was interesting at the same time. It was also very difficult, but I still got to the course. I finished the course. I successfully finished the course with like 95%. And I was like, okay, fine. So I finished the course. Now let me see what I need to do, because now I know that I have huge gaps in my in what I was learning on, or to get into machine learning. I realized that there are huge gaps. So I started figuring out what I need to do to fill those gaps in. And the shining star or the angel that came to me was the Udacity scholarship. So usually I don't apply for scholarships because I'm like, I'm not going to get through, right? All of us have this fear that, okay, I'm not going to get through. But there was an article I read, which I can't find right now, but there was an article that I read that said, go ahead, apply to Udacity scholarship. Because one thing is, Udacity scholarship is a global scholarship, so many people from all across the globe apply. So I thought my percentage to get in is like very, very small, like 1%, 0.001%, right? But still, that article encouraged me to go and apply. And so what I did was I applied to the scholarship, completely not realizing I'm not going to get in. But I still applied to the scholarship, and I was like, okay, let's see if I'm getting it or not. I just poured my passion into the application, said that why I wanted to learn my story, why I wanted to learn machine learning, why I wanted to learn data science, what it is going to give me, what's going to offer me, what I'm going to give back to society, and all of that. So I poured my passion into that application, and I forgot about it. But then one day, all of a sudden, I just got a scholarship. And that actually paved my way into machine learning, I would say, or AI, in artificial intelligence. That's how I got started. The scholarship was a beautiful scholarship. I know many people have complaints about the scholarships and everything, but they have I know Sona has also just finished a scholarship with me, but I had taken a scholarship before. That actually helped me a lot. When I took this scholarship, it was like, I met so many people with beginners, intermediate, advanced, very many different levels, who are also nice, because you'd actually make sure that people are nice to you and they're kind with the scholarship. So I got to learn a lot. I realized there's so much to learn, so much to do. And but that scholarship, working with them, working through basically Udacity scholarship has two phases, phase 1 and a phase 2. You have to complete the phase 1 successfully to get into phase 2. Phase 2 is where you get your full nano degree. So the phase 1 was like you're working through projects, you're working with your scholar mates, with the rest of the scholars, and you're building something. So you're learning with them. There's also a beginner's course that you do. That helped me actually. That helped me a lot, because I worked with other folks who were also new, who were beginners, who were also scared the same way as me. I was able to connect with them. There are also advanced folks that understood how beginners feel and help. So, and that gave me, and through that, I did a lot of projects. So some of the projects that I did there was like cat and dog classifier, fruit data set classifier, X-ray anomaly detection. I should tell you about the X-ray anomaly detection that got selected for openmind.org. So openmind.org actually selected that as a very good project. I don't know if all of you know Andrew Trask. Andrew Trask is one of the guys who secure and private AI. He's one of the leaders in that. and he really liked the project, and I never really thought that one of my projects would be selected by at a high level like this. But the X-ray anomaly detection, basically that we take X-rays and we find anomalies in the X-rays, and we like predict whether which X-ray is like the bad X-ray, or which belongs to a sick person, and which X-rays don't. Basically, that is what we did there. And then encrypting MNS data set. That is the secure and private area is all about encryption. Like, so when you're getting your data, when anybody is doing machine learning on your data, like for example Apple does on your phone, your messages, they actually go through your messages on the phone, and that's how they predict, right, the next word, or the autocorrect comes, because that's how they get the autocorrect. But since messages on our phone is actually very private to us, they are not supposed to do that, and that's how we have the privacy laws and everything. They're not supposed to take our own message. So how to like just take the messages, the words, and not really connect to a person, like, so basically not take the privacy of the person, but still like help them do the autocorrect, is what the secure and private AI course is all about. And that's what we try to do with the MNIST dataset and through encryption of MNIST dataset. So these are the various projects that I got to do even before I really got into AI, right? Like before I had the basic knowledge, those projects actually helped me like kind of understand, okay, what is needed, how does it flow, how does this neural networks work, how CNNs, the convolutional neural networks work. These projects help me understand all of that. Then I've also, and actually with the secure and private AI scholarship, I actually got into the second phase, and I got the full scholarship for the computer vision nano degree, and that's where I finished the computer vision nano degree. And I also got into the second phase for Bertelsmann scholarship, and I'll be doing the deep learning nano degree soon, in the next few months. And then I also did an introduction to machine learning using TensorFlow from Udacity. I know there are many courses out there. I'm not just suggesting Udacity courses, but I'm just saying that Udacity courses helped me because the structure was really, really good. And the scholarship helped me because the structure of the scholarship was also like well put together. And I got to meet many people. So when you're out of school, usually it's difficult to meet other people with the same goals and discuss projects with them. But with the scholarship, you actually meet people that have the same goals, and you get to do projects with them, right? So that helps you a lot in achieving your goal. So that's what Udacity scholarship did for me. There are also many other courses out there, but you anyway, if you need structure for courses, you have to pay. But otherwise, there are lots of free courses out there as well. If you do need any suggestions for free courses, you can ping me on LinkedIn and I can suggest free courses. But if this is just my journey, how through how I learned AI. So this is what like the Udacity scholarship is what helped me. And so this is how I got started, and these are the courses that actually helped me. But these are all high level. Even computer vision was high level. There was something in the lower level that I was missing, which was data analysis, and that's how I got started with the flow of AI. So first, to learn AI, I realized that we need to do something with the data before we get into modeling or prediction, any of it. We need to first clean the data, and most of the time we spend our time here in the EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. We are wrangling the data, we are cleaning the data, we are preparing the data, visualizing the data. And the basic libraries that we need is the NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. Matplotlib and Seaborn are actually visualization libraries. There are also many other libraries for visualization like Plotly and all, but Matplotlib and Seaborn comes with Pandas, it comes with Anaconda installation. So you just have to install that, and it just comes with it. So that's good thing about Matplotlib and Seaborn. NumPy and Pandas are anything to do how to tabularize the data. So NumPy does all the mathematical calculations like matrix calculations. So all the linear algebra is done in NumPy, and Pandas is actually cleans up the data. Like it's basically helps data being like an Excel sheet. So these four libraries have been very helpful to me in doing all of the data cleaning and data preparation. And the Udemy link that I've sent is the course that I took to like learn all of this. And then you need statistics and a little bit of linear algebra. I had a little background with linear algebra from school, but still the Khan Academy courses were very helpful with all of this. For statistics, Udacity also has a free course for descriptive statistics and inferential statistics that you can go over that. That's also a very good course, and they are free. So those are the basic fundamentals that we need to know before going into machine learning. That's very important. Even in the real world, with all the projects that I've worked with, especially the real world projects, the most of the time, like if it's an 8-week project, most of the time I've spent in is cleaning up the data, is preparing the data, visualizing the data, understanding the data well. So that understanding the data is very important in any of the projects. So, and all of the EDA libraries helps us with that. And that's very important. And please don't mind me stressing it. I'm stressing it because it is very important. And then we get into machine learning predictions, NLP, and this is all I'm still learning, which is NLP and reinforcement learning. I'm still going through and learning them. So, but I just finished ML and deep learning. So this is this is the flow of what I learned. So coming to challenges. So where challenges are lots of different challenges. First is finding the job. Finding your dream job or finding your AI job, your first AI job is actually very difficult. There are a lot of jobs in the market, but the problem is not everybody get hired. Even though there are a lot of people available to help and there are a lot of jobs, they're unable to match it. Like even when people go, because they feel that the people don't have the experience. But the sad part is we won't get experience if we don't get a job. That's the biggest drawback that we have here. There are jobs available, but the people that require you are people that need experience. So that's like the biggest issue here that we have. So they want real world experience. The skills that they require for a data scientist or a machine learning engineer is vast. They want they want you to know front end, which is like HTML, CSS, and something that creates the front end, the JavaScript. Then they want you to do the data analysis, which is actually a data analyst job, but they also want you to do data analysis, which is NumPy, Pandas, and then machine learning algorithms. With machine learning algorithms, you just need one library. They want you to know TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch, all of this. It's very difficult. It's actually very difficult when you finish learning machine learning and you want to get a job, because it's difficult to learn machine learning and front end at the same time. But if you're already a front end engineer, that's different, right? But if you're coming from a different industry, it's kind of difficult. Then they also want you to have cloud experience, because everything what we do is all on the cloud. Your GPUs in the cloud, your like Google Cloud Platform, AWS, everything that we do, because it's in terabytes, right? The data will usually be in gigabytes or terabytes. So everything that we do, we should do it in the cloud. So they want you to have cloud skills like BigQuery and all of it. So when you're learning a machine learning, you need to also learn all of this, which is difficult. And you need to build a good portfolio. You really need to showcase your skills, like through GitHub projects, Kaggle projects, open source projects. So for me, what helped me was my GitHub projects was because I had done the scholarship course and I had like few groups over there, my scholarship groups. They helped me with getting my GitHub projects up, my group projects up. So I got a few projects in because of that. And then you can also take up Kaggle projects. So if you go to Kaggle and look for data sets and do Kaggle projects, that will also help your resume a lot or portfolio a lot, because they're all open source. Or if you also can find any open source projects through GitHub, or when you look for open source projects, there'll be open source projects. For open source projects, they'll come to Omdena. I can tell you how they help you. So that's also open source and nonprofit. So that's one part. Or also there are other open source projects that are available on the net if you search for it. And even I can look it up if anybody is looking for open source projects. Then after finding a job, so once you get a job, after finding a job, the biggest challenges you have is data. So sometimes you don't have enough data or the right kind of data, or you don't even know if the data that you have will actually give you a prediction. So you may be spending 6 months on your data, just cleaning it up and preparing the data, finding the data. But the possibility of you actually getting a prediction of the data may be very little. So not all the data that we have will give us prediction. So that is something you realize when you get a job, because when you're studying and when you're looking at data sets through Kaggle or through anything else, if all the all the data they give you is like you can predict very easily. You'll be like, okay, yeah, so I have the data, I can predict. But in the real world, that's not the case. I just did a few projects with Omdena. Like currently, we're working on a project for banking the unbanked, and we have data. Okay, we have like transaction data and everything. But with that, we don't get signal. So it's like when you say signal, like you can't get a prediction. So you have the data, but that data is not useful because it's not predicting anything. So you need to figure out how to how to get more data, or will more data help you, or if you have to feature engineer the current data that we have, and if that will give you, after feature engineering, will it give you a prediction? So figuring that out is actually the toughest part. It's like really the toughest part, which we do not realize when we're studying. So that's why I just want to bring forth and tell you that, these are some of the challenges. When you're studying itself, you need to remember that these are some of the things you have to keep in mind, and when you're studying. Those are the challenges. Now coming to Omdena, it's a good leeway to go into Omdena. So Omdena is actually a non-profit organization. They help build projects through AI, through collaborative learning. Sonas, can you still hear me? Like somebody said they can't hear. Hello? Sona, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear. I hear you. I just unmuted
Okay.
my microphone to not interfere.
Somebody said they couldn't hear us. Okay. So Omdena. So it's actually a non-profit organization. They build a lot of AI projects through global collaboration. In this is where you can work on real world problems, and this is where you can see what issues we have with getting data, finding data, and how to work on the modeling or prediction. So working with Omdena projects actually helped me a lot in trying to understand what may be missing. Like there are many, AI is always growing because there's currently it's a very hot topic, and there are a lot of researches on it, a lot of papers being written on it. So it's always changing. There are new things always, new algorithms always coming out. So sometimes with new algorithms come out in such a way that even with data that may not show signal or may not show prediction in some time back, with the new algorithms you can actually may find signals. So you have to keep updating, you have to keep reading, and through Omdena projects I realized that where to go find data, how else to find the algorithms. So that helped me a lot. You get to work with like lots of different collaborators from all over the globe. I learn new every time I have a meeting with them. I learn something new, some new algorithm that comes out. The normal project time frame for a particular Omdena project is 8 weeks. You work with them for 8 weeks on a particular project. After 8 weeks, you actually deploy your solution. If you don't have a solution, you deploy what you have and showcase it to the customer, which is also a non-profit customer. And you have weekly calls. They're actually very strict. The weekly calls, they require you to give your update. So they keep checking that you're actually working on it or not. And if you're not working on it, they actually don't let you go. They let you go from the project, which will be a big miss. So every week we have to make sure that we work on the project and we given our input. So that keeps you on intact to like finish the project and given your input. So you get to work on a complete life cycle. So you get to work as a data tagger, data wrangler, cleaner from data portion to modeling and to deployment. So you get to work on a whole complete phase of a project, which is very interesting, because sometimes in a big company you may only get to work on particular algorithms, or if you're doing a data analysis or data wrangling, you get to work on that. But in this project, you get to be everywhere, and you get to understand how to actually use AI, or how to deploy AI, how to predict with AI. So that is something I really found very interesting, and helped me get my skills up. The upcoming challenges links are here, and my contributions to Omdena are here. So I've already written a blog, one that I finished, and for the banking and bank, I'm still working on it. And once I'm done, I'll write a blog on it, and I can share the link once it's done. So this is about Omdena. final takeaways from this was, I just wanted to give it's not advice, I wouldn't say advice, it's just my journey. So the final takeaways I basically had was, lots of resources are available online. You get this, there's plenty of free resources available. There are also paid courses. With paid, you get more structure. With unpaid, you just have to go through. But but if you do want structure, you can use paid. And then you should always look for opportunity. One way that I learned AI, I can say, is by teaching. Teaching is a great way to learn, actually. So I give a lot of webinars, and when I'm giving webinars, I like research and get to understand more. So that helps me a lot. So to me, it's always use the opportunity that you get. And if you're looking for any opportunities, Women Who Code is available. Women Who Code, we have a global team, and you can contact us. And if you would like to give a webinar, you can contact us and give a webinar. We are always focused on helping women, to change careers or grow up. So, and I'm also currently working with the data science team to give a webinar. We have a webinar coming up from a mini data science bootcamp coming up from Friday of next week, March 27th. I have shared a link in the references to the global track, the data science track. So you can come join us and listen in on the data science on a data science mini bootcamp as well. That will focus on how to get started. All of the NumPy pandas, what I told you about, we'll go in detail. We'll teach all the libraries that's needed, what all the libraries can do, and then the statistics part of it, all of it. So it's kind of a mini bootcamp that gives you the whole overview of machine learning. You can take a look at that. And if you also want to give any talks or webinars, you can contact us and give. Also, now that like how Sona has the Women in Engineering group, even there you can give talks. So use an opportunity, contribute to anything, or to open source webinars, just kind of contribute. And the main important thing is projects. If you are looking for jobs in machine learning, you need to do projects. But at the same time, you also need to make sure that your fundamentals are solid. So you need to take courses, you need to study and have fundamentals and understand basically the math behind of how all this works. I know some people say math is not important, but understanding math actually helps you in getting better algorithm rates, or getting precisions, getting better accuracy. So that's very important, learning the math behind it. I listened to one of Andrew Ng's talks, and he did say fundamentals are very important. So get your learning in first and then work on projects. Or while learning itself, you can do projects, but projects are very important to find a job, but the learning is very important to do the project. So that's what I learned, and that's what helped me, I guess, or helping me. I'm still learning. So you're always learning in AI. You're always learning, especially since it's a hot topic. You're going to be always learning. And always carry the I can do attitude. You can actually do it, because if I can do this, you can do it. If anybody else can do it, you can do it too. So always carry the I can do attitude. That's very, very important. And I think that's it. So this is like the Women Who Code. I just wanted to, and a disclaimer, this is all my experience. Everything Women Who Code and Omdena is all non-profit. I don't get paid for talking about it, I promise. It's my experience. It's what helped me. I've listened to other people's talk, and that's what helped me get face my fears, like I told in the beginning, and and overcome my obstacles. So I'm hoping that my journey can encourage you and overcome your obstacles and get conquer your dreams. So that it helps you. So you can come join us in our global chapter 2. And we have webinars. We try to be active by giving webinars and everything on the data science track. We also have we have 6 tracks: Python, data science, mobile development, front-end development, and cloud blockchain. I think we have 6 tracks, blockchain and cloud tracks. So if you're interested, you can take a look. And join us and volunteer for us, or you can also have. And okay, now on to Q&A. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm open to questions.
Actually, I have a question to you.
Yeah, sure.
From me.
Go ahead.
How do you choose like the yourself in AI? Like, how do you understand that it's your path? It's fit like
How
already.
do I understand my what?
Your path is like in AI doing like there's some working with AI. Why it's not let's say the designing or something different part path, not programming or another stuff, but exactly this way.
I get it. Do
Did
you
you
mean
hear me?
pass? You meant pass?
Pass,
How do you
pass. Yes,
pass the fear or
I wrote you.
the path? Oh, okay, okay, okay. The path to AI.
Yeah.
Okay, why did I choose AI? Yeah, why did I choose AI is because I love data. I love predicting. I love telling a story with the data. I love predicting with data. I think it's very. I also believe that it's very useful, especially as for non-profit organizations. I think it's very useful. So that's how I because I had a passion for data. That's when I first started. I thought, okay, AI is the place for
Mm,
me. Or that's where I want to be, but I don't know, in a few
yeah,
years I may
great.
change and want to be something else. But right now, my passion is yeah, telling a story and predicting with data. That's where my passion is.
Uh, what do you think about math and artificial intelligence, especially like deep learning algorithms? Do you think
So no, I can't
it's
hear you well. Can you?
sorry? So okay. Do you hear me? Like, is my voice
Your
like
voice is
clear or
crackling, cracking. Voice is
okay?
cracking.
What about now? What about now?
No, it's still cracking.
Okay, I don't like type.
Okay, okay, that would
Wait.
be better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. If anybody have any questions, you can type as well. And this recording, Sona said this recording will be available to you, and the presentation also. I'll make sure I'll be available to you. So yes, I agree that when you first think of data, you only think of data analysts and data scientists. But actually, data scientist basically is not like a. It's actually becoming okay. It's kind of becoming it's going to go away, data science, because it kind of encompasses everything, machine learning and everything. Uh, so AI is basically artificial intelligence. So in order to do artificial intelligence, you need to do data. So artificial intelligence is actually basically human intelligence, which we are mimicking. Human is mimicking. So whenever you're doing anything like predicting with data, you're actually predicting based off the human behavior, like neural networks and reinforcement learning, all of it. If you actually look deep into it, it's actually how our brain functions, how our brain learns. Like our brain actually learns. Like if you go into neural network, you are breaking the neural network down different neurons. It's how your neurons, the brain neurons, actually learn. So that's actually what artificial intelligence is. And in order to do artificial intelligence, what we need is data. Even as a human being, what we need every time is, like when you're looking at something. I know when you're looking at something, you don't realize that what you're taking in is data. You're actually taking in data. You're taking in data and you're processing it in your neural networks, which is your brain, right? That's the same thing we are trying to mimic with the AI too, with artificial intelligence too. We're actually mimicking our human intelligence there. So in order to do anything in AI, it is data. I hope I am clear, Leila. That's how the relationship is. How much math is important in AI? Leila, you can really ask me again. So if you have a question, I'll go to the next question. How much math is important in AI? When you're learning AI, it is good to understand the math because you can understand the background in AI. Many people say math is not very important. Even I heard Andrew and G say that math is not very important, but to me, math was really important to understand how the new how all of the activation functions and how like if you take a picture, how an image, if you take an image, how the image is being processed, it's the math. So you need to just kind of understand basic math. Basic math is enough, like on linear algebra, the matrix multiplication, or a little bit of calculus, which is for the chain rule, just to understand chain rule, because most of the activation functions use chain rule. So if you can understand that, so it's just a very little math, but math is important. I would say math is a little important, because if you understand that, if you have to change a particular algorithm to the algorithm that you want, you need to understand how that algorithm works, and you need to understand the math behind the algorithm. Like sometimes we talk about activation functions like sigmoid functions, tanh functions, and softmax functions, and all of these. And we need to understand why they're using those functions. Like tanh functions, the range is from -1 to +1. So why do we use tanh? Because you want the whole range. But when you're trying to like get an error or something, reduce the error, we can use the sigmoid function because it's from 0 to 1, right? So you need to kind of understand the math behind it so that you can create your own algorithm. So math is a little important. I would say if you don't, I wouldn't say that if you do not know math, you can't do machine learning. I wouldn't say that. You just have to go kind of refresh your mathematics, but then machine learning will be easier to understand. So that's it. And Lena's asked another question: how to start to do projects yourself at home without any university? Any examples for beginners? Very good question. Yes, you can actually go to Kaggle, and Kaggle has a lot of data sets available. And also in the references, I have posted a link to creating data for open source projects. If you go into that link, it has a lot of public data sets that you can use. And once you take the data sets, you can just Google around for what is needed to do. And there are lots of examples online now how to do it, especially if you take a Kaggle data set. Kaggle data set will already have somebody that's already written a code on it, right? So they would have already processed that information. You just have to look through what it is. Many beginners do that. Even I have done that. I just go through a Kaggle data set, and I look through what they have done. Previously what they have done. They also have tutorials, and just go through what they do line by line, how they do it, and everything. And you can just search for it online. Everything's available for free. Many things are available for free, and you just have to just go through it. That will help. If you can start a project like that and like build your GitHub portfolio with Kaggle projects, and here the one that I have written over here, data for open source projects. That will help you too. That will help you a lot. So you don't have to take courses, but if you just ready to like work a lot on it, this is available to you, so you can use that. Yes, absolutely. It's okay. So Leila asked another question: is it okay to look at other solution and repeat them? Yes. When you're a beginner, it's fine, and even when you're advanced too, it's fine. Many advanced people do look at code and try to replicate the code. So that's fine. Please don't feel shy to do it. Go ahead, do it. That's how you're going to learn. Replicate the code. Whatever's available publicly, people already know that you're going to use it. So that's why it's open source and available publicly to you. So you don't have to worry that they're going to sue you or anything like that. So it is available public to you. You can go look at their code and replicate the code. Once you start replicating the code, you will start writing your own code. So when we'll be able to solve problems on our own, just do one or two projects. Just completely focus on one or two projects. I can tell you, because I have done one or two projects, and my third project is actually very easy to me. So do one or two projects, go over what they have done, try to replicate it, and the third project will be very easy for you to do. Any more questions? Maybe if you have any confirmation, if you want me to say anything, repeat anything again, you can ask me. I can repeat it. Hopefully my my answers were helpful. Leila's asked another question: what about domain knowledge while working with data? For example, I want to work with banking data, but don't have any knowledge. What to do? Wonderful question. Actually, in AI, what is very, very important is the domain knowledge. Thank you for bringing that up, Leila, because that is actually very important. Understanding the domain that you're working in is very important. With the banking data, like for example, banking data, I worked in banking data too. I had little knowledge, but I had to read about read about how the banking sector works. So you do have to do some research on that particular sector. So I worked on an earthquake project, and I really never, I'm not a seismologist or any of that sort. So I had to like go and do some research and understand the domain first. So it's very, very important in AI to do prediction, to understand the domain, and you have to do research on the domain. Everything will be available to you if you're working with another company or another business unit. You can talk to them and kind of get to understand the domain more. It's okay if you don't have knowledge. Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you is like it's okay if you don't have knowledge. Everybody has to learn. Everybody learns. So you just have to go and research and understand, talk to people that you know who's that particular sector, or even if you're doing a project with somebody and who knows the sector, just talk to them. Talk to people, get to understand that domain well, and then it will be, understand domain well. So research online, talk to people. That's how it will help you. Oh, no. Everybody will say that. So Leila asked another question. People say that you can't get used to sector without working in that sector. We should try other positions. I really don't, because I think that because with Omdena project that I work with, I work in two different sectors. One was earthquake, seismic sector. Another one is banking, the unbanked. So which is actually the banking sector. So I didn't work on a banking sector for long, and and even earthquake. But you just have to talk to people, understand, and do some research. So uh, it's up to you. We can learn. We don't have to work. If that was the case, then we'll be stuck to a particular sector for a long time. The one person can only work in that sector and never move. So it's all up to us to learn and understand and research on that sector. And when you delve into a project, just delve whole with passion. So you'll get to it. You will get it. I have never come across a project that I have felt that, okay, this is not for me, or this sector is not for me. I cannot understand the sector. No, if I can like read about it and understand about it, talk to people, get to know, understand more, that has always helped me. You don't like, so we don't have to. So if you're doing something on banking, you're not going to do day-to-day transactions in the banking. You just need to understand how the transactions happen. You're not going to be in accounting and doing the accounting. You just need to know how the accounting works. And we usually most of it we access it, right? Like most of the industries we access it as a customer, so you will have an understanding as a customer, right? So even if anything like earthquake or skin cancer detection, we have been patients, or we know people who are patients. So we understand it from the receptor's point of view. We just need to understand how it happens behind the scenes, and that's not something very difficult. We can go through it and we can understand. So don't let that stop you from trying something new. Thank you, Leila. Thank you for your questions. You had wonderful questions. um, if anybody has any more questions, I'm open. So I think there are no more questions, right? So there are a lot of references I've given here: the Khan Academy, the Erasmus, Code Academy courses also helped me a lot. There are also a lot of free courses available. My data analysis, I started from there, and there's a lot of projects there. You can come check out our Women Who Code Data Science Global chapter also. And I know you are all part of Women in Engineering in Azerbaijan. Sorry if I'm killing the name. And you can also have a lot more webinars and events there to get you all going, or you can also form groups and do projects. That will help too. And there's another resource for data for open source projects, like I said. That's available. You can use these public data sets and choose. I'm not sure if your a particular city or state have their own open source project. You can also use that. That will be very helpful. Like in the US, we have census data. I have worked with Code for San Jose and worked on census data. Try to understand or predict with the census data how it's going to come up for the next 5 years. Understanding the 5 years census data and giving prediction for the future. So you can also find something like that, a prediction, because census data is usually public, it's on the public domain. that help. And I also have a good read here on how to build your data science portfolio. That was a very detailed write-up in Medium. I liked it very much, so I thought I should share. And then there's a data science interview guide. There's one more link that I want to share with you all. There's like, if you're looking to do a data science interview, there's actually data science questions where they send you questions every day, data science questions, and go through all the topic. So I'll share that too. I'll send it to Sona. I'll reference it here once the webinar is done, so you can all take a look at that. So you don't have to pay for it; they just send you questions. But if you want the solutions, I think you have to pay for it. But I don't pay. I don't pay for the solutions. I just pay for the questions. And it has been very interesting. They have sent me a lot of very good questions that has led me to think on that topic. And apparently, those are the questions they ask for interviews. So that should help. And I think that's it. That's it I have. Sona, any other questions? Anything? Okay, in banking sector, which project can we begin for beginning with small knowledge about AI, or must we be a so Go Abbas has the question. In the banking sector, with which project can we begin for beginning with small knowledge about AI, or must we be a specialist? No, you don't have to be a specialist. There's actually on Kaggle, there is a data set. There's or an old competition. It's called Germany dataset. Once I find the link, I can post it again over here in the references. You can actually go use that competition or that data set, and that will help. So basically, that takes in the gender, the transaction, and then predicts the credit score for the particular person, and it does supervised learning. So that's actually a beginner level friendly project. And somebody has already done a very good summary on that with all the projects. So I can share that link once this meeting is done, and the same references I can share it, and you can get started there. So that shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully that helps. Go about, right? If okay, perfect. I can share the link and you can get started. It's a very good data set, very complete data set. It's actually a Germany-based data set. Okay. Any other questions? Hopefully this webinar was useful to you. Hopefully this gives you encouragement to get into AI and not fear. And if I'm open to questions anytime. You can contact me on LinkedIn anytime, and I'll be there to help. I would love more women in AI, because in Omdena projects I see that I'm mostly the only woman that's talking, and I feel bad. I want more women in there in the nonprofit and nonprofit projects, or in more projects and out there in AI. I'm a big advocate to bringing in more women into software engineering, into tech, SourceLink or Sendazify. So I'm more passionate about bringing more women in. So hopefully this webinar has given you encouragement to get into AI. I also fear a lot. I have gone through a lot of fears, and I never thought that I would be at this age where I can give a talk on it. So, but the journey, it's this long journey, and hopefully this journey has inspired you and encourages you. Okay, so GoBus asks one question: can you send the source link or send as file? I'll send the link to Sona, and she can share it. I'm not sure how she'd like to share, but I'll send it to her, and she said she'll email it to you, or even I can send it as a file too. And you can ask her later on how she wants it. Yeah, she said she's going to share it via Facebook and LinkedIn. And Sona had a question: artificial intelligence careers ups and downs. Do you mean? Okay, she said from your page. Sona, do you mean by career ups and downs is after you get your career, after you get a job, or before you get your job? So it's like all careers, even AI has a lot of ups and downs. And the biggest problem after you get a job, as I said, is getting the right data, actually being able to predict. Yeah. So basically, she's saying after you get your job. So the biggest challenge after you get your job is data, is predicting data, is getting the right data. Uh, yeah, real world problems. It is the data is the problem. Sometimes you'll be working on data for months together, and you're not going to be able to predict with the data, and that project will have to be, all your time will be wasted because you're working on something for such a long time, but you're not able to do anything with it. That was just useless data. It has happened to many people in the past. It's happened to me in the past. So when you do it, you'll understand, okay, from this data I'm not going to. You'll also understand how you can figure out. There's something called DB scan that you can do to figure out if a particular data set can give you a signal. So there are many libraries that are coming up now to find out if particular data can give you a prediction. So you can use that, and to kind of use that and figure out if the particular data that you have will actually give you any information. So it's happened before. Okay, if there are no more questions, I think I'll hand it back to Sona if she wants to say something. Yeah, so Sona said, so thank you all for joining. I think she's unable to talk because her internet is kind of, iffy. Um, but thank you all for joining today. I don't think she's, yeah, her internet is slower. So thank you all for joining the meeting today. And Sona will be sharing this webinar on LinkedIn and Facebook, and she'll also be sharing the link. I'll share all of this with her, and you'll be getting it all through your page. So thank you all for joining. I think we are done. If you have any questions, DM me, and I'm open. If you're looking for a mentor too, I'm open. I do want, as I said, I do want more women in the field of AI. I wish there were more women in the field of AI. Okay then.